He really was the first person to introduce the real jazz program here at LHS. In the 60s and 70s, there was a stage band directed by Mr. Gillespie that met an hour a week after school, and that was the total of the jazz program. And Sandi wanted to see some more, and she wound up taking over the stage band. In '77, I believe it was, she took a sabbatical. She went and studied at Berkeley and studied at NEC with the famous third-string pianist Rand Blake, who actually did a concert in town about a month ago at Fallen Church and dedicated the evening to Sandi and Don. And she brought back a much more authoritative jazz, much more original and authentic jazz than was being played in the stage band at that point. And she took over teaching the jazz ensemble, the new name, and she also started a class called Jazz and Rock Improvisation that I'm sure there were a few people out there that were involved in over the years. And that was the germ. Yeah, go ahead. That was the germ that founded the jazz program at LHS, which I was terribly fortunate to be able to inherit when I started here in '83. When I student taught in '82. She had me really involved in that, and there'll be a little story about that later. But one of the fun things about this is that we've got a continuum of LHS musicians from 1975, which is the year I graduated from high school, but I wasn't at LHS. That's Mr. Peter Tillotson. Correct me if I'm wrong, Peter. Did you play oboe in the production in the Brandenburg back in '74? Peter played oboe in the production of Brandenburg that you heard earlier here in '74 when they did it, which is pretty remarkable. And then we have our youngest cast member today, Mr. Alex Tung, who will graduate in the class of 2019 if we let him go. Again, this is a piece that Sandi requested very specifically. It's an Oliver Nelson composition, and she did arrangements for this for her girls' ensemble, for her vocal jazz groups, and for various and sundry instrumental jazz groups that she directed over years. And this is Stolen Moments. So let me get my instrument, and we'll be right back to it. We have an addition to the program because there's another jazz pianist who's coming in town for this weekend. And again, it's something that Sandi was aware of, knew of, wanted him involved, and as sort of a reflection on her work again. As I mentioned earlier, I had the great privilege of student teaching here at Lexington, and actually at the middle school, at the junior high at that point, and the elementary schools with some wonderful people. Carol Tyree, anybody had her back there? Bob Legue, worked with him over. So I got to work with those people and the wonderful faculty here. And I was teaching Sandi's jazz and rock improvisation class, and the first piece she asked me to teach was a Kenny Durham composition called Blue Bossa. And it's one that's sort of a staple with us all along. And we've got a special guest. It's not on the program, but you saw him before playing harpsichord and continuo. You may have seen him on the television show Glee playing himself, Brad the piano player. We have Mr. Brad Ellis, who's going to come out and join me on this.